Hey, it's Mark Lanier with your video thought for the day. All right, this has been a week on preparation, and I got to tell you a story. Our daughter Gracie recently gave birth to their fourth child. Gracie and JT already have John Henry, who's 3.5 years old. Then they have twins, Lydia and Abigail, who are about 22 months old. And now they've got baby Zoe. Zoe Grace is just almost 2 weeks old. So Becky and I got to go down and we got to help with the 3 older kids. Now, right before I left, Becky stayed on extra because she was more help than I was. But right before I left, I wanted to do something for Gracie and JT that would help them, but also something that they'd remember me by in a sense. And I love to bake. Well, I have this recipe. In fact, if you put enough requests for it down below, I'll figure out how to add it to this video somewhere. But I've got a recipe from like this 1952, 53 Betty Crocker cookbook. It's for a refrigerated roll dough. This is a roll dough that's got like mashed potatoes in it. It's got potato water. It's got flour. It's a really good roll dough that you can use for cinnamon rolls, for dinner rolls, for any variety of things. So I made a big batch of it for them. Now it's good in the refrigerator for 5 days. And you can just peel off what you want, shape it into whatever you want, let it rise 2 hours, boom, it's there. So the morning after I made it, as I was leaving, I made them some cinnamon rolls out of it for breakfast, really good. But I left a lot of it prepared for Gracie to use later in the week. And sure enough, she made these dinner rolls and she sent me a picture and she said, "Dad, we ate every one of them. They were so good." Now, why do I tell you this story? Because there's a passage in Ephesians. It's in chapter 2. And it's around verse 10. And it says that God has prepared good works ahead of time for you and I to walk in them. Now think about this for a moment. God himself has ahead of time prepared good things for you and me to do. This is what I tried to do for Gracie. I worked ahead of time to prepare the dough so that it was ready so that she could do her work, which was finishing this good work that I had prepared for her. And in like manner, God has prepared things for you and I to do. So as we're going into the weekend here, my thought, and I want your thought, to be one of, wonder what God has prepared for me to do today. As you look at a different chore or a different opportunity, is this an opportunity where God prepared something for me to do? As you meet a frustration or a challenge, say, how has God prepared a work for me to do in this frustration or in this challenge? Where's the godly path here? Because that's what he's prepared for you and I to do. And that's not just roll dough. That's real life. And it's also your video thought for today.